Hi there. This is another episode of Treasure Valley NIA Quick Tips, but it's a little bit of a different episode today. My name is Scott Marker, and I run a once a month professional networking groups. I have three groups. It's a franchise, and through that, I meet all types of local experts here in the Treasure Valley, Idaho. And I just wanted a way to spotlight and let the listeners be able to, listen and maybe get some insights from experts here in the valley. And one thing that part of the franchise is part of our initiative that we're required as a franchise owner is every year we're supposed to kind of get behind a nonprofit and try to help them get some more exposure through introducing them, having them visit the groups, and introduce them. So I met Dave, and once I met him and kind of told me what he did, and I'd never heard of this for a nonprofit, and I used to volunteer for a lot of nonprofits. I'm very passionate, so I'm excited today. So having Dave on. So Dave, introduce yourself and then tell us who you're with.
Thanks, Scott. I am Dave Glaser, and I am the president of MoFi.
Cool. So first of all, what's MoFi stand for?
MoFi is short for Mountain Finance.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, and a lot of this banking, this is helpful. I know because Dylan came and visited the group, and I had him kind of do a little talk and stuff. And then in my group, every single banker already knew who you guys were. I couldn't believe it. So you guys did a great job of getting out there. So kind of at a high level, kind of what is your charter
Yeah,
as a
so
nonprofit?
MoFi is a nonprofit community development financial institution, CDFI.
Okay.
And we almost exclusively, primarily, provide small business loans to nearly bankable businesses. So these are businesses that your bankers in your group and across the state of Idaho wish they could say yes to. They really like the business owner, the entrepreneur, they like the business, but for whatever reason, at that time, that person, that business isn't bankable, either in part. So we might come in as a partner with a bank and do a subordinated loan, or in total, where we make the entire loan. And since we are not a bank, we are not a depository, we really work closely with those referring lenders to help that business owner get set up with all the other things they're going to need from the bank, whether it's a checking account or credit card, whatever the business might need, while we provide the debt to help them become bankable.
See, and I love that. Uh, I love it because in the years past, I came across, I won't even name, but other industries. And once I kind of learned how much interest they charged, it reminded me of a payday loan type place. I just didn't think it would be right. And I even talked to some bankers that said that they didn't like sending, they felt bad about it, versus every single banker I've talked to that partner with you guys, your team at MoFi, say that I love working with them. It's such a great partnership because they care about my customers. So I think I love that. And then I'm going to back up a little bit because I really like the fact. Okay, so let's say I love the one thing you said. You said either full loan or what was the term when we do part of it?
So that's typically referred to as gap financing. So there's a gap in what the banker can provide in a loan, and we come in a subordinate position and help make the project happen.
See, I love that. And then also you mentioned CDFI. What's that term
Yeah,
for
so
us non-bankers?
yeah, CDFI, and not all bankers know what a CDFI is.
Oh,
So CDFI, Community Development Financial Institution, that's a treasury institution,
okay.
U.S. Treasury. We have to each year prove that we are making the types of loans that allow us to be a CDFI.
Hmm.
So in our case, at least 60% of the loans we make each year must be to a person who is low income or lives in a low income neighborhood, or it is a Hispanic owned business.
Okay. So that's great. I just love that. So give some examples. You mentioned some. So uh, give some examples of the type businesses you help out.
It runs the gamut. We do tend to see a couple of industries more often because they are just trickier to get bank financing, like startups. We
Okay.
do finance a lot of startups, typically more than 50% of our loans in any given year.
See, and that when I heard that from Dylan, that shocked me because I just think you guys must do a good job of vetting because a lot of startups, a lot of people have, you guys must do a good job of vetting it because one, he told me you guys' success rate, which is tremendous. So the fact that you can help startups, because over the years, every time you talk to a startup, what's their biggest problem? They're running around trying to get a VC, venture capitalist to pitch to them to get the money. So how do you guys fit into a startup versus like I've never even thought of like a venture capitalist.
Yeah, VC or angel funding is what I would refer to as patient capital.
Okay.
And that business owner is giving up ownership of part of their company in order to get that patient
You're right.
capital.
Okay.
Very different money than what we're providing, which is debt instead of equity. And our debt is, I would say, impatient. So that business, that startup, that existing business needs to demonstrate either projected cash flow that will start very quickly and be able to help service the debt, or have an existing business that has a great track record and we can make loan payments on your loan.
No, that's great. So startups, and then what's some of the other main?
Restaurants are very tricky to finance in at a bank. Childcare businesses, Main Street retail, light manufacturing, non-traditional medical. So like a chiropractor or a physical therapist comes out of school, and it's very difficult to get financing for that type of
Hmm.
business at a bank. And so bankers across Idaho, have us at the ready and call us and say, hey, listen, I really love this individual and I want them to succeed and I want them as a bank customer, but I can't provide the loan right now. And so we look at it, evaluate it, make the loan, and then typically it takes us about 3 years to make that business bankable. Because not only are we providing a loan to that business, we're also providing them wraparound consulting services that come free of charge with our loan to help them become bankable. And that could be things like, accounting help or HR help or other legal types of issues that an early stage business might run into that could potentially really hurt the business. So we surround them and help them become bankable.
See that I hadn't heard that before. So let's say you have a, a chiropractor that wants to start business stuff. Then you guys have what people on like I don't know what you call them, but are they just like volunteers that
These are
help?
staff members. So we have staff
Okay,
who work in our Path to Bankability consulting team.
okay,
So they'll go in after underwriting. Our underwriters might, during that process say, hey, listen, this business could really use help setting up their QuickBooks and mapping out their chart of accounts so that they can really understand what the business is doing, what may need to be addressed. And so then we'll go in and help set that up.
well that's great, and that's a great value add. I mean, for coming at it, jeez, I
And
love that.
for us, our whole purpose is to help these Idaho businesses become bankable so
Yeah,
that they no
see,
longer need us.
yeah, and see now, I'm pro Idaho because I'm here and stuff, but you guys are also what other states do you guys help?
We lend in 12 states,
Okay. And
but
are they
Idaho,
kind of in the Northwest?
yeah. So the states include, from Washington to Minnesota across the northern tier, and then down as far as south as Utah.
Wow. Okay. No, that I said that's why when I heard what you did, I was just excited because again, I just had there just wasn't other options out there that, that again, that bankers, for I just love the fact you're trying to get them back to being bankable, because that's the key, and get them out of, anything else. Plus, if you're bankable, to, traditionally your business is making some money, right? You're going along, so everybody's happy. The bank's happy, and they're happy. So no, I love that. Um, but so what's some like interesting little tidbit facts about MoFi that somebody wouldn't know?
Well, we were founded in 1986 in Missoula, Montana, and
Wow.
our organization got its start from a $50,000 grant from Ms. Magazine.
Wow.
That's a little known fact about the organization. And, since 1986, we've been, well, really since 2007, but, over the past nearly 40 years, we've been growing steadily. And back in 1986, we served just a small area around Missoula, and now we serve 12 states. And we are really a partner to banks to really help, their local businesses across all of those states to access responsible, flexible capital. That's important, responsible, because there are capital solutions out there, but they are predatory
Right.
and charge ridiculous fees to the business, and it's really detrimental to a lot of small businesses in America to get that quick injection of cash, but then they pay the price. Ours is, a very similar underwriting process to a bank, so you don't get money overnight from us. That said, we do move pretty quickly. Our quickest turnaround is 5 or 6 business days for a loan.
Wow. That's good. That's really good. Yeah, like I said, I love everything about it because, like I said, I'm all about small businesses, and in the groups I run, they're all, I mean, one small business is a general contractor, and they do like $30 million a year, but they're still in compared to the other ones, they're still, small businesses. So I'm very pro that, and I just love, just, I just love everything about what you guys do, and the fact that you're out there, because again, it's like, I just couldn't believe I'd never heard of it before. And I've been around a lot of startups before. So that again, that's part of having you on the show and having you come visit, was I want to get more people, so that more people that have that dream out there that fit your criteria and stuff like that can, possibly get their business going.
Yeah, and it
So
doesn't surprise me that you've never heard of us, because we spend all of our time making relationships and working with bankers, small
right.
business and commercial lenders. And it also doesn't surprise me that every single lender in your group knew who we were, because
Yeah.
that's where we focus our efforts.
Yeah. Yeah. I know it was surprising because I was all excited. No, we work with them. No, in fact, I'm meeting with them. Like, wow. No, that's great. So what's a question? I mean, is there anything, I mean, what's something that you that maybe I didn't ask you that you would want, so, somebody, like, for example, one thing I want, another thing is still have that question, is what's something that maybe you would want me to ask you, but also another question I have is besides the bankers, who or somebody else that you would like to get the word out to?
So, couple things. One, I want to be sure to talk a little bit about a couple of success stories, because I think
Okay.
it really puts, context around, like, these
Yeah.
are real people and real businesses in Idaho that are now just flourishing because of our help getting them up and running. We really want to make sure that every small business or entrepreneur in Idaho that is struggling getting a loan from a bank or credit union knows we exist. We would love that. That's a very expensive venture to make
Right.
sure everybody knows we exist. And so we are working diligently to make sure that we're out in the communities, particularly communities that we know are underserved, to make sure that they know we exist.
Right.
So, we're always reaching out to lenders to make sure they know we're here, but there's plenty of people who know that they're not bankable and don't ever bother going to the bank at all. So we would love that. I'll tell 3 success stories.
Good. Yeah. Love
Yeah.
it.
3 different parts of Idaho, and very different businesses. So starting in the southeast corner of Idaho, down in Pocatello, we provided a loan to Caribou Jack's Trading Company. So Caribou Jack's had a long-standing hardware store and sort of eatery, like all kinds of things. And they wanted to open a second location in Pocatello, right downtown. And their banker called me and said, I can't believe it. We can't get this, deal to come together, but I know there's a deal here. These folks are great. And so we looked at it, underwrote it, and provided the financing, fairly large loan for us, for them to renovate a downtown building that had been vacated and open their second location right downtown in downtown Pocatello. Wonderful business. The second fun story in Treasure Valley was one of the first small business loans we ever made in Idaho. And that was to Tin Roof Tacos. So
Oh, yeah,
Tin
yeah.
Roof Tacos, right downtown Boise.
Yeah.
Their banker reached out to us and said, all right, it's time for you to show you can do what you say.
Right.
Because right towards near the closing time, something happened and the business became unbankable temporarily. And so we looked at it and we said, that's not a big deal for us. We can proceed. And we made the loan for their startup location there downtown Boise. About 18 months later, that location became bankable. But in the meantime, they had been so successful in downtown Boise that they were opening a second location in Meridian. And just like Caribou Jack's and Pocatello, a second location is considered a startup. And so we provided the startup financing for their second location. And they have since become fully bankable, and they're off and running and doing great things, selling piles of tacos to the benefit of the Treasure Valley. And then the last story is up in Caldwell. And one of my faves, it's Amano, which is a delicious Mexican restaurant there, right in the heart of downtown Caldwell in the new redeveloped area. And they had reached out, their lender had reached out to us as well because they weren't quite bankable. And we could see that they were fully financeable by us in underwriting. And in this case, in addition to us providing the loan, we also provided them that wraparound, that path to bankability construction in the form of one of our staff sitting down with them and putting together their chart of accounts and walking through with them. These are the really key indicators of a restaurant that's running well. So keep your eye on these. And, the rest is history. Anybody who Googles Amano knows that they were rated one of the top 50 restaurants in the United States by the New York Times.
Wow.
Which is just incredible. I mean, for us,
that is awesome
to have entrepreneurs be that successful. I'm giving myself chills talking about it. It like puts so much meaning in the work that we do. Unleashing that human potential is just wonderful.
See, I love that. So yeah, I mean, like those are great stories, and like that. Again, I love those success stories, and even me more impactful to me because I'm fourth generation Idahoan. so well, perfect. Hey, if someone want to reach out to you, what would be the best way to reach out to you?
Yeah, honestly, you can go to our website, www.mofi.org, or give us a call, and fairly easy to reach us, 844-728-9234.
And what I'll do too is I'll put contact information in the show notes so people can find you too. So, this has been great. This has been another episode of Treasure Valley NIA Quick Tips. And until next time, appreciate everybody and have a great day.
Thanks.
Thanks.